Hi, everyone, and thank you for coming. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. And for those of you on replay, I'm going to start with giving you a great meditation technique that I use when I go to sleep at night after I've seen something or someone disturbing me psychically who's entering my space. So I use my color meditations for this, all right? So let's say you're trying to go to sleep, but unfortunately you see someone or something in your mind that is just a visual thing. That's so for me tonight, it's like this pasty white face with a funky gray hair job. And so what I do is I pick my color, a very dark color. I like deep purple. And I imagine that I have a giant pencil with a giant eraser on the end that's dark purple. And when I see that person's face, I put a big splot and it makes like this purple smudge right over it. And then I keep putting those circles around and around all over that vision that I have that's keeping me awake at night that I find distressing. This also works great for if somebody's dissed you or gaslighted you during the day, and you just don't need to think about that person when you're going to sleep at night. I mean, they're just basically taking up space in our minds for free rent. Nobody needs a freeloader in our own minds. So if after a presidential debate or vice presidential debate, you see the picture of one of those candidates in your mind and you find it disturbing, because this works no matter which person you want to just blot out of your mind. Now, if a giant pencil eraser putting dots all over their face and keep filling it up with purple and purple until your whole view is nothing but deep dark purple. And then of course in the back of your mind you'll be like repressing, I'm still thinking about him even though I don't see him. And that's when the little light will pop out and you'll see the cracks in your purple paint job start to, like, there's more, and put more, boom, get the eraser back out and keep filling in those holes. Just keep filling in those holes. If the giant eraser doesn't work for you, you can use a psychic paintball. Now, for entertainment purposes only, and this is in our minds as we're going to sleep, okay, if we see a visual of something disturbing that we don't like, or someone's, because let's face it, this person we don't need to sleep with this person tonight, okay? Yeah, exactly. So if you don't like the giant pencil eraser, you can use a paintball. I could even imagine, because it's in my mind, right? I have a giant can of paint and I'm just splattering purple paint on that visual of that person, and that icky whiteness is just boom, a splash of purple paint, and boom, a splash of purple paint, and boom, a splash of purple. And see how, like, yeah, the psychic warrior. And now you can pick any color. You can pick any color. And once again, when that person begins to disturb you in your mind, just take out that giant color ball and just boom, start erasing that psychic visual, because this is an optics thing, right, guys? It's all about the optics. All right, okay, so I want to hear what you guys said about the debate. And hi, Connie. Hi, Cardomancy. I'm so glad you came tonight, because I am actually finding that there's a bunch of other psychics who are using the pendulum. I use the pendulum, but I don't have one right now. And who have been asking, and of course, when a person is catches or has drank too much beer, there's stages they go through, right? First, there's exposure. You're exposed to the pathogen. And then you incubate. And then if, your immune system kicks in and you're healthy, boom, it just stops right there and you knock it out. Otherwise, an infection occurs. All right. And then you have to fight an infection. That's usually when a fever breaks out. And then, of course, once your fever breaks, you're usually going through post-viral, you're going through rehab, you're going through a recovery phase. And from what I understand, this thing, the recovery phase is quite long. It could be 5 weeks or 5 months. Yeah, because the residual effects longer. So I want to hear from you guys, and I might be watching the screen if I'm not looking at the camera. And hi for all the newcomers. I'm Alexia. I'm a holistic medical healer. My specialty is soft tissue damage, which it turns out that the beer, which is my code or my way of talking about the corona thing. Oh, which reminds me, I wanted to ask you guys, we'll have to have a chat about this sometime. Do you guys know what a corona is? Does anyone know what a corona is? So who do you think won? 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 Oh, yeah, because I was raised, we played cards all night long. If there was more than one person awake after 9 p.m. and the dinner table was cleared, that meant we brought out the deck of cards. And we played a gameplay very similar to Pinochle. And me and my brother and my mom and dad, we'd just stay up all night, way past midnight on weekends, and we'd have the poker chips and everything. But we never played poker. We played sheep's head, which is from Wisconsin. Yeah. Kamala. Yeah, a corona. Yeah, the corona is a crown. That is correct. So actually, in ancient Greek, the word or the base of the word corona was used to mean a circle, which encases, because when they looked up during a full solar eclipse and they were able to see a total solar eclipse, they started to map the mechanics and everything of the moon and the sun and everything. That's what it was called. It was called the corona, and that's the ring. It's the ring around the sun during the total solar eclipse. And so it began by meaning ring, like a ring. Okay. And so when the base word of circulo or circular became the circle, and then it became the ring, and then it became the crown, because the crown is the ring or the circle of the power, which was to put on the crown chakra, right? And so that's how that term became, because in the Nostradamus deck, actually there is actual corona in here. You'll see it quite a few times, and it is the crown, the crowning, which can refer to the time where the king is crowned, which is the monarchical class of rulers, and not the class of people. Right, exactly. Okay, interesting. So, okay, so I didn't hear about the fly thing. So ask questions. I'm here to answer questions about the debate tonight. Who wants to ask? Okay, so Kamala won. That was easy. Oh, goody, Crystal Tarot's here. Yay, Apothecary. Oh, the moon is gorgeous. So when my daughter came home in whenever it was, February of 2020, and she said, Mom, because she came back the same day I found out about it. And she said, Mom, there's a coronavirus. I asked her, I said, well, do you know what a corona is? And she goes like, no. And I said, that's the membrane around your eye, your optic organ. And it turns out that it was first discovered by an ophthalmologist. Yeah, corona actually refers to one is it's a membrane that encapsulates, right? So the corona is actually what they call is a part of your eye. And then, of course, there's the sun's corona during the solar eclipse. And then I asked her, I said, do you know what corona discharge is in electronics? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, that's the discharge that the EV meters in those giant things on the poles, on your power poles, and also the transmitters for the telecommunications technology, they all irradiate a corona discharge field around those components, essentially, those boxes. They all, because they're super high energy. Yeah, they all have a corona discharge. Oh, thanks for asking a question here. And it helps when you type it in all capitals when you have a question. That way I can see it, you guys. So Connie Cat Mama says, the funniest comment I saw tonight, the fly went to the biggest turd in the room. That's so funny. Everybody knows. And Keisha Harris, hi Keisha, says, everybody knows the queen rules the chessboard. So our first question is, how does the Trump-Pence group feel now after the debate? Oh, nice, Keisha. We have lots of budding psychics. And just before we talk about different abilities, it's been proven in science that what used to be considered like a paranormal is actually normal. So paranormal activity means the ability to communicate with someone without words. And so after doing a lot of experiments like on yogurts and bacteria, they were able to discern that even though one specimen was in room A, room B was communicating with room A. And that's, what did they call that? The 10th monkey effect or something like that? Okay, so how does Trump and Pence feel? How do Trump and Pence feel right now? Because right now is after the paint. Okay. Thanks for the questions, guys. How does Trump and Pence feel? How do Trump and Pence feel now after the debate? How do Trump and Pence feel after the debate? I can feel them looking at numbers, like they're number watching. Because after the last debate, the numbers went really far down. And so I think they're concerned about numbers. How do Trump and Pence feel right now? How do Trump and Pence. See, this way you can see the cards. Now, one of the psychic abilities, and this is actually one that I have, is called telekinesis. And it's the ability to affect objects at a submolecular level. So one of the extremes examples, like the guy who bends spoons with his mind, okay? Yes, you can actually do that sort of thing. It's not a trick. It's not that hard to do. And so the reason why I like working with objects is because I can feel the energy in the object, and that is called a form of telekinesis. In magic, there's 3 levels. So the lowest level, or the apprentice level, is what's known as hand magic. And so when you can feel things with your hand, that's level 1 magic. When you can feel things with, and then there's the incantation, that's level 2, which is using the sound, because sounds are waves, right? They're pressure waves that travel through a medium. Like sounds don't go in a vacuum because there's no medium of travel. So the medium of travel is just the air in the room, essentially, that the sound wave, which is a pressure wave, which we feel in our eardrums, and there's a little floating bone inside there in that ear cavity, and that vibrates and it senses. That's the only floating bone in your body, by the way. It's a little floating bone inside your ear. So how do Trump and Pence feel right now? Oh, I will ask that next, Crystal. I will ask that next. Let's focus on the first question. Now, there's different spreads, and most people use what's known as a Celtic spread, but I'm the traditional Nostradamus spread, so it's a little different. So go through your book when you get your deck and choose which kind of spread you want. Okay. How do Trump and Pence feel right now after the debate? Oh, mutiny. They feel like somebody left. They feel like somebody betrayed them. I wonder, okay, so let's ask this. Oh, here's the one I almost looked this. Okay. How does Trump feel about Pence right now after the debate? How does Trump feel about Pence right now after the debate? He's tweeting. This is his tweet storm. The world is also the internet card as social media, mass media communication. So this is Donald's tweeting. How does Donald feel? How does the United States president feel about Mike Pence after the debate? There's the first card. He feels like he's losing. Okay, so that is that. Oh no. And boom. All right. In the Nostradamus base spread, this is what's known as the essence. The essence is like the feeling. Remember how we kept saying, how do Mike and how do they feel? How does Trump and Pence feel after the debate? They feel like they lost. They absolutely feel like they lost. Okay, so the essence is they feel like they're not just that they lost, they feel the threat of the imminent blue wave coming. That's how they feel. They feel like abandoning ship. And so that card that we got, that mutiny card, remember how it just popped out? I think Donald's witnessing people jumping ship. This is like the ship going down. Okay, this is like all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Okay. And the warning, this is not a drill sign in a Navy ship or a submarine that just got blasted by a torpedo. Okay. And a blue wave is going to just start taking over the engine room. That's how they feel after the debate. And how Trump feels about Pence, he'd like to give him a 2x4 treatment. This is Donald Trump literally wanting to smash Pence over the head. He's like probably smashing him right now, giving him a headache. He's probably chewing out Mike Pence at this very moment. Did I buffer? Sorry about that, you guys. We asked, how does Donald feel about Mike right now? And right now he would like to smash him over the head with a 2x4. He's probably screaming at him right now, smashing him over the head. And it might even leak out on Twitter that he's disappointed. Not just disappointed, he wants to chew him out. This is the debate because that's the recent past. Okay. So in this spread, this is this position, which is to the left. Okay. To the left of the center card. Oh, and this is what's known as the foundation. And the center is the foundation. This is the recent past. So the recent past moment was the debate. And they feel that Kamala took over. They feel that Kamala won the hearts of the people. And once again, they feel that her power and her strength is worldly. They feel this. See how the Queen of Cups has resources? Oh, she must have nailed him on the question about the Trump dynasty's foreign policy. This shows that Donald Trump is afraid of the fact that Kamala was able to gather the feelings and the emotions of the United States voters on two things. One, foreign policy. Okay, see how she has these overseas connections because she's the Queen of Cups. This chick rules the water, the emotions, okay? This is her ruling, taking charge of the emotions of the voters. So Trump feels that she won by taking charge of the voters over the foreign policy issue. That's one thing. And he also feels that she is in charge of a community that he doesn't have, who actually is going to be taking charge of the health care. He also feels like she won on the healthcare questions. I didn't watch much of the debate. I got to see like a little section of it. That's probably why he's so upset with Mike right now, because he didn't do well on the healthcare issues or the foreign policy issues. And then also he's afraid of her because emotions are all about the cup is all about emotions. So this says that Trump thinks Pence is afraid of her. Yeah, am I back now? Because it looked like I was buffering. Okay. All right. We should be back now. This is the present moment. This is the staff at the White House, and they're all talking about what happened at the debate. Did you guys catch what I said about the Queen of Cups? About how Donald felt like Mike really blew it on the foreign policy, the healthcare questions, and that Kamala won the heart of the voters, and that he thinks Mike is scared of Kamala. Okay, are we back? Oh, okay, great. Hi, Ocean. Hi, Keisha. Definitely tell me if there's something wrong. I think if I move too fast, the camera blanks out. Okay, at the present moment, this is the staff of the White House. They're talking about the debate. So this position is the present moment. This is right now. This is to the right of the foundation. So this is what's happening right now with the staff inside of the White House. The suit of wands is the government. Okay. This is actually corresponds to the class of sons of the monarchs and the ruling class in the Nostradamus deck. So these are guys who are sending out communications. They could be memos. Because when you talk about things, it's different than communicating in like evidence, which would be like emails, letters. So right now, somebody's typing like crazy. And not just Donald. This is his staff. Yeah. So this is probably his back channel, okay? Because they've got to do something. So he sent out his back channel to take action. Once again, the suit of wands, which is called rods in the Greer deck, is also action. Okay, so they're preparing the news brief. The page is the news. It could be a messenger. It could be a news brief. It's also young people. It also is immature energy. That's the position of the page. Right. The younger, immature messaging. So what this is saying is they've got to come up with a news brief for tomorrow because they feel like they're in trouble. Because the essence is it's all about how does Donald feel about Pence and how Pence did at the debate. And he feels in trouble. And he feels like Pence is abandoning him. Like he feels like Pence backed down. He feels like Pence didn't stand up for Donald enough. I'm not kidding. That's what I'm getting from this because these guys are afraid. You can see the fear when Kamala walks in the room to steal the hearts of the voters. Because this is a character, not a policy election. Wouldn't you guys agree? Kamala is a Scorpio. This would be a water sign. I actually don't know her reading. Now, regarding astrology and the Nostradamus, which is what the Roger Wake or modern tarot deck is based on, is the ecumenical class, which is the Vatican and all the priests and the monks and everyone who lives in Rome and have all the orders of all the priests and everywhere around the world, because the Catholic Church is a gigantic organization. Right. So they're not considered to be a part of the government or the regular class of people. Okay. So when the astrology used to be kept, because Kepler and Copernicus had to go through a giant opposition about the belief systems between the 12th, 13th, and 14th centuries, until in the 16th century in 1555, people started to actually realize that, wow, no, the Earth is not the center of the universe. The Earth orbits around the sun, and people were still really believing the flat Earth. And what's happening now is it's a paradigm of about 1,300 years later. Right now, we're in a triple retrograde. We've just come out of both a Venus and a Jupiter retrograde, and we're now in a Uranus retrograde until January 14th, which is a huge date, guys. Mark it on your calendar. January 14th, big date, when Uranus goes direct. Right now, we're having an election during a Mercury retrograde, which is going to last about 3 weeks. And we are also having a Mars retrograde. Now, at the class of the Vatican and Aristotle and the cardinals, which were also considered a ruling class, they had been keeping the astronomy, not the astrology, because at that time that was considered high science. And so the church was actually developing the science, and it was the astrologers. They had a special nave, which still exists in the complex. And there was a huge opposition to the heretical class. And so at a certain point, they cut off the nave and forbid all astrology. And that's when the takeover, and the Crusades and all the Dark Ages began. Yes, because this is the paradigm where the masculine overtook and the patriarchy came to drive the snakes out of Ireland. Remember that? Because they didn't want anyone practicing the so-called dark arts. And so Nostradamus was the guy who was able to get around that whole thing by developing the tarot. But we don't have the codes. That's where the Templars and the Rosicrucians, everything came into play, because the codes on the deck correspond to the planets. They had everything mapped out because they were mapping out. It was just like the giant mapping that the Mayans did in the hieroglyphs. That's what they were doing. They were mapping out the entire astronomy and the entire calendar. Because Julius Caesar had only recently put together a Gregorian time frame. That's right. Before that, they didn't have Gregorian. I know. So it was outlawed, and that's when the heresy began, and that's why astrology was forbidden. And so you'll see in a lot of the teachings and a lot of my readings, I'll say, well, in my religion or in this class or deck, the astrology is forbidden because they were doing the astronomy. And so that's why I use the numbers and the numerology, and that's where I get the accuracy. But I still can't get very good accuracy because the decks often don't have the codes. For example, I just picked any card. You can see the wheel around the penta. Yeah, that's a pentahedron. Yeah, and then those circles all around it, once again, those are coronas. And those are orbit cycles for the different planet motions. And then there's keys and then there's codes. And that's how they were able to put all of that into the codes. Yeah, that and the quatrain, of course. Okay, so that's how Trump feels right now. He feels like his whole world is crashing down upon him. He's literally has to be tweeting about every little flipping thing. And he'd like to give Mike Pence a 2x4 treatment over the head. He's got his staff probably working furiously overnight for a news brief to come out in the morning. And Pence is afraid of Kamala. And you know what? He should be, because you know what? He should be afraid of losing more than just the election. He should be afraid of all the indictments coming to him and his little gang of criminals. Yep. Okay, so now we had another. Oh, thanks. Thank you for subscribing, everyone. We have 400 now, so it's lovely to start seeing people come by. Now we had another question that was a little bit ways back. Let me see if I can get it. I think Keisha has a question. They forgot to win or sway. Mercury shadow period. Well, Mercury's retrograde right now. Now, where's the other? Okay, here is. Oh, is Biden sick? Yeah, a lot of people have been. Oh, that was Gma's question. How did Trump feel about Pence? He'd like to smash him over the head with a 2x4, and they're afraid. They're afraid. Is Pence sick? Okay, so I've been doing a lot of readings privately, and for entertainment purposes only. Oh, and welcome newcomers who are a little bit shy. We have a wonderful group of people here. I welcome all people of every country, nation, and I try to be neutral, but the fact of the matter is I just think it's sad ultimately to witness what's happening in American politics. But truthfully, I started uploading the videos because I've been doing the tarot privately for myself to answer questions. But I started uploading political videos because I couldn't find out what was going on in the news. I literally could not find out the truth. And so I like to use the deck to ask, to the universe to please share the truth with us. And I did watch a couple of other guys lately who are like prosecutors, and they work with the Justice Department. Different guys like Christopher Wray, Glenn Kirshner, Peter Strzok. And basically, I don't normally read on people's health, but in the position of being a United States citizen, I deserve not to be lied to about my president's health if he's put in the hospital and is unfit. Okay? And I have to admit that I know a bunch of stuff. So for everyone who's not quite up to speed, what we found out this week about Donald Trump having too much beer, because on my channel, we like to talk about it being the Corona beer. Yeah, like a Dos Equis or something. Oh, by the way, and I love to interrupt myself. Did you guys hear about the new name going around Moscow? You know, they don't really have the same internet that we have here, but they have friends and they travel. He's got a name. He's got a pet name. The people on the street call him Piglet. Did you guys know that? They love Disney cartoons. And you know that G is known as Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, they call Dondi Piglet. They actually call him Putin's Piglet. That's his new nickname. Piglet. Okay, so we're going to, no more moose. No, he's not a moose. I like calling him Moose. Short for, you know, the Leany family. But they call him his, because we call him the puppet. They call him the Piglet. They call him the Piglet. So we'll call him the Piglet. Okay, enough of that. Sorry, I'm not here to make fun of anyone. That's just news from on the street. I'm not kidding. Okay, now I don't believe in assumptions, and for entertainment purposes only, I don't want to get anyone paranoid about being sick or catching it, but there's no way around it. There is an outbreak, and we as the American people deserve to know what's going on at the White House. If Donald really has it, which actually I have not gotten that he has it. Okay, I got that he's going to get it, but he doesn't have it now, if you can believe that. And I got, before this, I got that Pence is like asymptomatic. Yeah, he's like super mild, like he can pretty much go around and people can't really tell he has it. Because there's something really distinctive about it, although it does affect everyone differently. But my people who I know who had it, but most everybody couldn't get tested for it, so nobody's really sure if they had it or not, kind of like number. But it has an extremely distinctive cough. It's like almost nobody gets this thing and doesn't have a cough. So if Pence was not coughing, that's a good sign. I didn't see him cough. Did anybody see him cough? Oh, Eeyore. Who's Eeyore? Creepy vibe. Did anybody see him cough? Oh, yeah. I saw that Don Jr. was asking him to be checked out. And now this is okay. Let's focus on facts. I know that's so ridiculous to say. A tarot channel, a political tarot channel, and we're focusing on facts. A lot of the justice workers called out the news brief that Donald is infected because, in fact, no one's ever seen a positive test result. Now, per HIPAA laws, that's HIPAA, no person, and Donald Trump is a person, has to share their medical records with anyone. And you can't ask for them. If you go to a judge and say, can I see Donald Trump's test results? The answer is no. And so White House spokesperson basically said, and we can't even trust them when they say this, is that it's been weeks since Donald's been tested. And they don't even know, nobody's even copying to whether or not he's been tested, whether or not he's tested. Has anybody seen a positive test result on the guy? Nobody will cop to it. And so I asked, and of course it changes every day. So if he had it not last week, he could have it today. So I need to ask, I literally, was he admitted for that or something else? because this is the fact. Number one, we have no positive test result, which is really odd. Somebody said something like this was an excuse. He got tired of taking them. He didn't like taking the test. That sounds like a 2 years old. I don't want to wear my mask, mommy. Like he's a 3-year-old ripping their mask off. I don't want to wear my mask, mommy. This is toddler behavior. So the spokesperson said that his last negative test was 3 weeks ago, but nobody came up with any result. Nobody knows what's going on with this guy. And this is another fact, another fun fact. Brad Parscale and Donald Trump both went to the hospital the same week, okay, within a very short amount of time. And they were both at the hospital for 72 hours. That's right, 72 hours. So technically, yes, he was in hospital for 72 hours. So you can make the inference there. Every time I did the cards on this guy, he has multiple issues coming up. And I think the reason the universe wants us to know and is willing to share the truth is because as the president of the United States, we have a right to know if we're being duped. Now, it could change. He could have caught it while he was in the hospital. That's right. Okay, so before we get to Pence, let's just verify, because this has been mind-blowing, okay? And it's been really, really hard to believe this. And it changes every day. So before we get to the condition of the 45th president today, because he could have caught it between now and last week, the question is, did Donald Trump last week, did Donald Trump test positive? Did Donald Trump test positive last week? Because if he's not tested, then how does anybody know, right? Because he might not have gotten tested. So let's just ask, did he get tested last week after the debate? Because we know that he didn't get tested before the debate. They came late. They violated the rules. And it turns out they claimed that they didn't have time, but they had time for elbow rubbing in the lobby beforehand, and super spreading on the way there. Oh, and another side effect was that I have a reading that came up that said there's going to be an unexpected change of the ticket between now and the election. Like, of the 4 candidates, somebody's not going to be on the ticket. That's really weird. Like somebody's falling off the ticket. Okay, so did Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States, get tested for COVID last week? Like, really, seriously, anytime before the debate or after the debate, like between Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when he ended up at Walter Reed. Did Donald Trump actually take a test to find out whether or not he has it? Whether or not he has coronavirus? Did Donald Trump actually take a test last week? Doesn't say yes, for starters. This says that he's sitting with people who have it all around him. So this says that he's being exposed. See all the cups behind him that are all full of transmission fluid. But he's sitting there pretty because he thinks he doesn't have to get tested, even though it's flying all around him and he's being exposed. So that's him, like I said, like a little toddler sitting there with his arms crossed saying, no, I'm not going to. I'm the king. See, he's got his little crown on his head. There, he's got his little crown on his head there. I don't have to. Can you even believe this, people? This is his health. Okay, this is Donald, the condition of his health. Okay, it doesn't say yes. It says that he's swimming in a sea of it. Look at how his health is holding a chalice. And what's inside of the chalice? Beer. So this is him sitting around drinking beer, essentially sucking it up without getting tested. This is sick, people. It doesn't look like he got tested either before or after the debate. This is the news. Okay, so he got a message. Somebody came to him last week. This is like between last Monday and last Wednesday. So this is the debate. Okay, so he had to go up in front of Biden. All right. And here's the wings of Mercury. This is referring to the Mercury shadow, the shadow of Mercury in the Achilles heel. This is a message he got that this is his Achilles heel. Okay, so what this is saying is he was told that he needs to go in for medicals. Okay, or he was told he has to get tested, but his reaction was like, I didn't want to. And even though he knows he's swimming in a sea of it. Can you believe this? Now, does he have it? Does he have it? Did he have it? Let's ask. Was he already in incubating? Because we know he was exposed. Was he incubating or infected with beer last week? Was he actively incubating and growing, replicating the beer? This is Donald Trump. Was he actively infected? Was he actively either incubating last week? Wheel of Fortune, the first. Let's cut this deck here so we can, Eight of Swords. See, this is the part where I'm feeling for the energy. Did Donald Trump have COVID last week? Oh, there's no yes. There's no hardcore yes. This is bad luck for Donald. Really bad luck. This is the tide has turned against Donald. But we're talking, was he actively They said it's bad luck for him. What it's saying is he's going to get it. The news. Okay, 8 of Swords was meant for other purposes, you guys. There's the blindfold. They might have done it to blindfold Donald. And sudden ruin for Donald. Okay, did he have it last week? He's got something else going on, and that's why they took him in. That's what I keep getting in the cards. See? He has like all these other things wrong with him. They needed to get him in for diagnostics. I'm telling you. And he has something seriously wrong with his psyche. That's what I'm getting, is that it's his bad luck he's going to get it, but he doesn't have it yet. That the op-eds were for another purpose, because his poll numbers dropped to a new low, which was 29 last Wednesday. And Brad Parscale went into a 51-50 fold right on the same day. And they were all freaking out because this Monday, which was the 5th, Eric Trump had to testify, and he ended up pleading the 5th. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, see? The magician. It's all for show, guys. It's all for show. However, that doesn't mean that it won't come back to bite him. But I don't think he's cooperating with the tests. Will Barr get tested? I heard rumor on Twitter that Barr. Oh, thanks for asking questions. You love it. Okay, so before we get to Kate's question, Jima's like, thumbs up, people. Thanks for the likes. Ocean Garnet has one I want to take. Hi, Azantewa. Okay. Yeah, sleep well, darling. Bugs Bunny. Oh, God. Keisha says, I remember a scene from Bugs Bunny where he walks around screaming, dangity, dangity, while pulling his butt wobblers. Oh, no, that's so funny. Blessings, sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, Connie. Okay. A major ticket change for months. Yes. That somebody's going to fall off the ticket. Okay, so there is, okay, so we'll do Kate's question after we do Ocean Garnet, I think, has the next question. Ocean Garnet asks, how long will he last? The crown has to overpower him soon. Okay, so focusing on facts. Focusing on facts and not to spread rumors or any heretical beliefs. Statistically, if or when he catches it, he has a 90 to 95% chance of surviving. However, he's on the higher risk, so I would say he has a 90% chance. So he has a very good, but not perfect, chance of surviving. Okay, so Ocean Garnet asks, how long do you think he'll last? Okay, so it is no man's fate to judge another one, especially when it comes for their life and their lifespan. However, we are in a Uranus retrograde right now, and this is a planet of lifespan and life journey. So each one of us is basically having to pay off debts now, and it goes until January 14th. We're all repaying our karmic debt. So remember that the wonderful parable of people who live in glass houses don't throw stones. And so we don't want to point fingers at others and have an accusatory attitude as we welcome all these new people who used to vote for Trump and all these independents. We want to be welcoming and heartwarming into the community of the sacred feminine. Yeah. So we want to be equally inviting and non-accusatory. So instead of asking the fate of the man, it is because he is the 45th president of the United States, will he be able to physically complete his term? Or I'm just going to ask, will he complete his term? Because they said that they met at the White House today to pressure him to resign or to cut some deal for him to resign. I'm telling you, he won't go for it. He will not resign. I have never got any card that even inferred that he's going to resign. I'm telling you, the magician said that it's the universe's trick on us, okay? He's not testing. This is not good. Okay, so will Donald Trump live to complete his term? Will Donald Trump live to complete his term? Will Donald Trump, and this we may or may not have a right to know as American citizens, because that's kind of a heavy question. So would the universe like to share with us? Will the universe like to share with us? Okay. Cut the deck. Will the universe like to share with us? Strongly, yes. Yes. Will is Donald Trump getting physically? That's coronavirus. Will he live to complete his term? Will he live to complete his term? At some point, he's going to have to deal with his own coronavirus infection. Here's the offer to resign that he's refusing. And he's thinking about it. Look at this, you guys. We've never seen this before. This is big. This is a change in the energy and a change in the cards, you guys. This is not what I was getting before. This says that he's actually considering resigning. They just talked to him today. He's got to deal with the fact that he's got it. This is the meeting today where they asked him to resign and he refused. See, there he is. Same deal. Arms crossed. No, no, no. Because he needs to think about it. He's contemplating what to do about the fact that he has it. So maybe there's been so many bizarre cards lately about the president and his health. Let's ask some more questions. This is the first time I've gotten that he's even considering resigning, you guys. They must be trying to cut a deal where Pence is going to pardon him. Now, before we go, this is interesting because I'm getting chills. Now, when I get chills, that's scary. Okay. He's going to live to complete his term. He's not terminally ill, you guys. Okay, I think, was it Kate? Will Barr get tested? Oh, yeah, to get some good rest tonight, Crystal. Thanks. Will Barr get tested? Well, I think he's in supposed self-quarantine right now. Let's ask, did Barr get tested? And then we'll ask for his results. Did Barr get tested? This light deck is like, did Barr get tested? Did Barr get tested? Ooh. That's weird. This is him moving away. Maybe he's not really going in. Maybe he's not really going in a quarantine and he's using his. This is escape. Maybe he's using it as an escape cover. We got the reverse Empress. Did Barr get tested? No. No. That's the straight up no. These people aren't testing themselves. Okay, this is the reverse Empress. Okay, for a personal reading, this is the person's overall condition. Okay, it's bad. See this? See how it's all full of the little flowers? It's full of bugs that are, and this is incubation. This is gestating, so this is like incubating in a bad way. He's incubating in a bad way, you guys. No, he didn't get tested. No. Oh my God, he got the judgment card. Oh my God, he got the judgment card and escape moving away. This is ecumenical judgment. This is judgment of God. Oh, wow. Let's just ask, because I've always felt that, okay, I have to be real about this. Okay, there is a man who's in the office of the White House, and granted, he's in the office of the presidency, and the office of the presidency deserves and regards all the scrutiny, all the oversight to violations of the Constitution that it deserves. And judgment by God is much more harsh than a judgment by man. For it would be an act of compassion if Donald Trump and his mafia were judged by his peers, which are humans. And granted, they've committed crimes against humanity, but if they are held accountable to their action, it will be much, much better for their souls, which I don't believe they think they even have their own one, frankly. I believe they don't even think they even have a soul, so I don't think they're real concerned about that. But in terms of the judgment on their soul, because that's the judgment card, that Barr, that's a judgment on his soul. Okay, that's not him going to jail. That's a judgment on his soul. That's him incubating and him trying to escape. He wants to escape. He wants to escape. Does Barr have it? Does Barr have it? Oh, he's overflowing with it. See, I told you. Oh, does Barr have it? Oh. He probably has it, and he's probably using quarantine as a cover-up. That's what I'm sensing. This is the 9. The 9. We always keep getting the 9. In the beginning, last December, the Nostradamus deck predicted that there were the 9 who were inoculated. So this is the card of the 9 who were inoculated in China in 2019. Oh my gosh, you guys. The foundation of William Barr is the Kuan Yin. This is the high and holy spirit of health, the healer, the physician card. It's actually more than that, because I think what this is Kamala Harris overshadowing him, because tonight's reading, this is the Kamala card. Oh, she's coming. He's worried. Oh, look at this. Bar, who's one of the 9 who was inoculated, is worried because the 9 of Swords is complete anxiety. It's terror. It's not just insomnia. It's not just it is mortal terror, fear of imprisonment. It also says that he's one of the 9 who was inoculated, who thought that he could just go around without ever catching it. He's terrified of Kamala Harris. He's not afraid. He's terrified that his ability to continue to keep people from being accountable will be overseen by Kamala, because look, she's all over his reading. This is also Bar's health. Here it is, the 8 of Swords. This is actually a siege. This is a direct attack. Bar recently was either initiating an attack meant to bind, or is the subject of an attack. You can see it's always this covering of the eyes, this injustice. So is this regarding Bar being attacked or making an attack? Ooh. Him being attacked. This is the evidence that's against Bar that's sitting in front of the Judiciary Committee. Okay, that we the people don't know about. So he was recently made aware of attacks against him in the event Kamala becomes VP. This is the present moment. Bar, oh my God, he has all these really high numbers. This is really bad for Bar. Bar is wounded. He's struggling. However, it's not struggling with illness at all. You see how there's nowhere in here it says that he's sick? He didn't get tested. He didn't get tested. Bar says that he has too much to cope with. He's overwhelmed. But this is overwhelmed with problems at work, not health problems. Here it is, justice coming to get Bill Barr. See how the justice is overseen by Kamala. So that's Bill Barr's reading. Bill Barr is staying up at night because he's afraid Kamala Harris is going to actually clean out the Department of Justice and get a real functioning Department of Justice. And these people are more than afraid, you guys. They are terrified. What's Bill Barr planning to do when Trump loses the election on November 4th? Okay, so Mercury comes direct again and goes into that shadow period where everything's a little bit murky on November 4th. Now, please keep in mind that I do work did not right now, presently at this election, but I have been a poll worker many times, many counties, recently in the county of San Diego. And it takes them about a week to certify election results. That's normal. So they just give you a projection based on the percentage of votes counted the same day. They always take about a week to certify the results. What's Barr planning to do on November 4th when he loses the election? Oh, he's got an offer he's planning to take up. Okay, he's got something in his back pocket. He's waiting for the 4th to find out what the results are, and then he's going to take up the offer. Probably to escape. Okay, so what's Barr planning to do on November 4th when Donald loses? What is William Barr planning to do? Oh, sure thing, Kate. You're welcome. My pleasure. You know, it's so nice to have someone to get dressed up for here because, you know, I'm kind of like, it's late at night. I can't take off. You know, I can't go party down at the lounge. Well, look, we're going to check back on Barr having it. Barr's cooking up an offer. We're looking at Barr. He didn't get tested. It says it's using it as an excuse to distance himself from what? Exactly. We haven't quite gotten that far yet. Yep. Wonder if he'll lie saying he's positive and use it as an excuse to distance himself from Trump. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Okay, so before we find out what he's going to do on the 4th. Yeah, let's just find out what he's going to do on the 4th. Will Barr be asked to resign? Oh God, here's another 4 popping out. It's all 4s on Barr, which means he's holding his position right now. He's not making any moves. Okay. What will he do? He thinks he can wait until the election results. He knows they're losing. He's terrified of Kamala Harris. What's Barr planning to do on the 4th when he loses the election? He doesn't want to think about it right now. He's like, I can't deal with it. What are you going to do, Barr? Believe me, you're going to do something. You are going to do something. You might not know, but the cards are going to know. And we deserve to know because you are our AG. What's he going to do? Look at this huge set of cards. Look at this, you guys. He's going to get served. He's going to get served. What's he going to do? He's going to be served. He's going to get like served, like knock, knock at the door, sheriff's message. You're served. You are served. Why? Because the naked truth about you has come out. Now, in the Nostradamus deck, the sun is a card of beyond transportation. It's transmutation. And this is the ultimate Corona card. What's he gonna do? Oh, look at this. He's gonna say he has Corona. This is a message. This is him speaking out, but he's also getting served at the same time. He's gonna say he has Corona. Whoa. What's he gonna do? Okay. This is November 4th, so you can't really read on the recent past. So what happened recent past for November 4th is the election was the day before. Okay, so this is the election on November 3rd. This is him attempting to take control of the vote. See his little hand in there? Okay, We already know there's not going to be a concession on November 4th. Yeah, but what's he's going to do? He's going to say he has corona because it's the day after the vote, and it's going to be an illusion. There it is. This is a card of illusion, you guys. This is one great big fat fake. On November 4th, he's going to fake having the corona. But guess what? This is the Hierophant. And in the end, his karma is going to come back to get him. Now, the Hierophant is actually justice served by man. It is also the card of karma because when he goes for his final judgment to be for St. Peter to open the gates of heaven for him, he will be judged. He will be judged. In the end, he will be judged both at court and both of the gates of heaven because, oh, this is crazy, you guys. Yeah. So look for that. He's going to come out with the news saying he's got it the day after the vote count. It's going to be fake. And in the end, it's going to bite him back. Wow. Okay. So there's plans to impeach SCOTUS Kavanaugh. Okay. Because the, let me turn this up here. The appointments at the Supreme Court are lifelong, and it turns out there was a lot of miscomings and goings, naughty business over Brett Kavanaugh's appointment. And so I believe that the plan is about Brett. Now, let's see. Are we finishing up? Good night, Twana. I'm going to be up for a while because I'm in LA time zone outside of Portland. So like it's early here. It's only 10 o'clock. So we're just getting started. And the girls from LA stay up till 1. So nobody needs to stay up late. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Sweet dreams. Oh, I want to share with you the affirmations. This would be a perfect time, just so in case you could hear this on audio while you're brushing your teeth. Our children, our elders, our neighbors, our spouses look to us because we are feeling not fear. Now, we went over like the color green on Monday because the heart chakra is all about love, and love being an opposite or energy or a reciprocal of hatred. And fear is what is ruling of the other people. Okay, they're afraid of getting caught. In 2 ways now. They're afraid of catching beer, and they're afraid of being held accountable for their crimes. So they have 2 things they're afraid of being caught at. One is that they haven't been tested. They haven't been testing. No. There hasn't been contact tracing. There's no contact tracing. The Pentagon is now infected. I mean, this is really big, you guys. The admiral has it. I mean, these people are a national security threat to ourselves. You talk about friendly fire. Wow. So this is the affirmation I'm using, and I want to share with you. Don't say if Biden wins. Say when Biden wins. When Biden wins is so reassuring because everyone's looking to us. How's it going to be with a new president? Everybody's scared, okay? Because the people who live in fear are using fear dynamics in their advertising. So they're trying to make people afraid. So it wasn't that scary. So now they want to make everybody scared of beer again. Okay, we've known about beer all year long. Everybody knows how to filter their beer, which brewery not to go to. So the language of fear has its opposition in security. When we replace the word if with the word when, we reassure our people around us, our neighbors too. We never have to say the word don't worry or it will be all right. That is so placating. They're going to just be like, when Biden wins, things are going to be like this. When the new president is inaugurated in January, you will have health care. When Biden becomes president in January, we will have our allies back. We will have allies again. When we have our new president in January, we will be friends and neighbors again and not red and white aliens. We won't live in red and blue states anymore. We will all be Americans when Biden wins. And don't even talk about what happens if Trump wins. Don't say he's not going to be. Just say when, and don't say don't worry. Just say, and it's your confidence. The antithesis of fear is confidence, which comes from security, because knowing we come from truth, we are honest. Yeah, we have a huge cleanup job to do with the new administration. We're all going to be busy cleaning up messes that we created for ourselves. So there'll be plenty of jobs. And he doesn't do the new Green Deal, and I'm not into the new Green Deal either. So Biden's not about that. Just about common sense. So just say, when Biden is president, sanity will return to the White House. Say stuff like that. And they'll be like, yeah. When we have Biden for president next year, we won't have to spend all these time watching his tweets. We'll be able to go back to our life. We'll be spending time on making arrangements to travel to see our grandkids instead of just seeing them on FaceTime, because when Biden wins, we're going to get COVID under control. And we're going to reopen this because it's going to make sense. That's how we reassure our families. See how that works? Hi, Claire. Nice to meet you. Of course, absolutely anyone who is sleepy, we'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. So good night, sweet dreams. And I'm going to stay up because it's pretty early here in California. Do we have questions from the newcomers? We have Cartomancy and we have Claire. When, not if, when. Just say, when Biden is president, you'll have your health care. That's right. When Biden is president, we'll have sanity in the White House. That's right. Here's one that you can tell your friends. When Biden is the president, our kids are going to be going back to school because we'll have sanity return to the White House. No more Betsy DeVos. See, you start talking like that, they'll be like, yeah, check box for Biden. Does Cartomancy have Questions? Okay, so I got that a lot of these guys are using COVID as a cover, but I don't have that Donald was using COVID as a cover. I have that he had a Brad Parscale moment last week. And I also have been following, because we had our live stream on Monday, our Minerals Monday Live. Oh, and I want to let everyone know, if you are suffering like me, that you've lost someone this year, either from the beer or anything else, I have a special stone and healing on this upcoming Minerals Monday Live. It's moldavite. And I'll talk about moldavite later, but we're going to do a special healing for not really about dealing with grief or loss, but communicating with our loved ones who've passed. Yeah, communicating with, and it's not like a seance or a Ouija board or anything like that. It's using, and it's not a crystal either. Moldavite is not a crystal. It's using the tektites. It's tektites. So we're going to use the moldavite stone to open the channel of communication so that we can speak to our loved ones or communicate. I'm not going to say speak. Communicate without words, energetically. We can energetically tune and tap into our loved ones who have precessed us this year, because a lot of us have lost someone by now. Okay. All right. So I got that what was happening last Friday night was a little bit too convenient, because it was on a Friday night. And if you just went back to work on Monday night, that's a 72-hour hold, which was what they put Brad Parscale in for. And what I got intuitively was like they wanted him to get tested, but he keeps refusing to get tested. And that he thinks he's got it. He thinks he's got it. And that they managed to convince him, because he's got so many symptoms, to go in, because he really, really needed to get checked out. And what he really, really needed to get checked out for was an aneurysm. And they think he's going nuts. I also think that he needed to be checked for brain lesions, which are advanced symptoms of syphilitis. And I mean, the guy's got a lot of stuff wrong with him. He's not a healthy dude. I mean, forget the obesity, the pulmonary issue. When I saw his balcony moment with the way everybody's like, oh, he's gasping, what I saw was that he might have had a stint, because his pain was in an area around his low back or kidney. And that sharp feeling here could be from like a stint or an angioplasty or something like that. Someone said they saw a bandage on his head. That could be from him just covering up like a little, bloody scratch thing. Or it could be from an incision used for exploratory procedures inside the cavity. So they worked him over. I think that a bunch of readers got that he was gone. That could be because he was under anesthesia. So I suspect he had an angioplasty and that he probably had to go under. I cannot tell whether or not this guy has got the beer. My cards are like he's going to catch it. That he's just been flaunting himself because he thinks he's so great. He's not going to catch it. He's got this like whatever syndrome, TDS. That's pretty much what I'm getting, but things are changing really fast. Like in the last 24 hours, the energy just changed. It was like I had this overwhelming sense of calmness And how I experienced it is like a fisherman where a fish is out of water. It's like they keep being afraid of getting caught. Well, fish don't like to get caught either, but if they keep taking the bait, they get caught. And they're afraid of being caught for their crimes, and they're afraid of catching the beer. And so it's like this real afraid of being caught thing. But they're reckless. I mean, they're reckless. They're just like, so I think of it like fish out of water. Like when you go fishing and they catch the bait and then boom, they're out of the water and then they're like wriggling and they're gasping for air. It's like an energy thing psychically. And they're wriggling around because it's their last breath. They're about to expire. It's over and they know it. And so all their pulmonary responses and everything, if you watch, it's like that. Even if they do or don't have beer, their reaction is all about a fish out of water. It's all like a fish out of water. Yeah. Except for some of them are like cockroach energy, like they're like run and hide. Turn the lights on. Uh-oh, the truth is out. Those are more like the wait till the last minute type, because they just think that they can go on forever. Now that's like the Bill Barr, Pompeo type, because they're like, well, we'll wait till they turn on the light and then we'll go hide under the cupboard. I mean, that's not a real sophisticated strategy. That's like Cockroach City 101. Oh, for the folks who were a little later coming in tonight, thanks for coming in late. We'll be here for a while because I'm in Los Angeles, so it's early here. It's only 10 o'clock. Did you hear the new nickname going around? Because the people in Moscow are calling him Piglet. They're calling him Putin's Piglet. That's his actual nickname now. Because they like calling G the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Donald's Putin's Piglet. Can you believe that? That's their nickname for him. Oh, thank you, dedicated troll slayers. Thank you, moderators. You'd be surprised, like 70 people will come in and out of this channel. We are 400 subscribers, and thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Does Cartomancy have any questions? Because yesterday, a bunch of people asked with their pendulums, and it was like, does Donald Trump have beer? And it was like, no. And I've never gotten that he has it. I got that they tricked him into going in last Friday. I have no idea if they gave him all those cocktails. They can say anything because everybody knows that they want to resell the Regeneron. Good night, Keisha. Oh, yeah, don't hesitate to go to bed, because what will happen is YouTube will send this out and new people will come on. And it's very important to stay well rested. And now you know how you can erase if you see somebody's face as you're going to sleep. And in your mind, you say, when Biden is president, I will have my health care. When Biden is president, I will sleep at night and I will see visions of Kamala Harris instead of Mike Pence. And you can throw icky, giant, purple splashes in your dreams if that pasty, white, pale dynamic is too much and it's peeking through into your dreams. If you see the little holes come in, I like just get my little eraser and I go blot with the purple in my visual optical image because we don't really want to dream about the debate. And this is the reason why. We are the confident ones. We are the confident ones. We know the blue wave is coming. And the others are looking for us. My child is been noted that actually we had to meet with the school counselor and everything because they're going through their like very, very first term set of tests and progress reports. And the counselor noticed that my daughter is handling the whole situation dynamic better than average, noticing that she still has problems and issues, but has coping skills to handle them, and that her general demeanor and lack of upsettedness is less than many of the students. And that's because I calm her by telling her, I got this handled. I'm the mom. I've thought this out. No matter what happens, I've got you. I've got you. I just reassure her with her emotional safety net. And we can reassure our Republican neighbors, because a lot of us live in areas, and it's not going to be red or blue anymore. We're all going to live together, and we're all going to be happy and making friends and talking with our neighbors. Yeah, like starting tomorrow. Because on November 4th, this whole thing is going to be like, so what? Okay. And they'll be disappointed, and they'll run around like chickens with their heads cut off, and they'll be like fishes out of water. And then they'll start to breathe again. And you just smile and you say, when Biden's inaugurated in January, we will have our health care, any healthcare plan we choose, because he's not taking away the private healthcare plan. If you like your private healthcare plan that you currently have, you can keep it. Just tell them that. You'll be able to keep your private healthcare insurance. And if you don't like that, you can buy public insurance. We'll all have healthcare, and we can all be healthy. And we can all go back to having popcorn and going to drive-in theaters, because there's going to be a resurgence of the drive-ins instead of the indoor cineplexes. Does anybody have political questions? Good night. Definitely go to sleep and have beautiful dreams, darling. Dream in deep purple with the stars. And you know what? I like purple because it complements Kamala's complexion so nicely. I had to say that because it's true. Yeah. She's not quote unquote black, and you know what? People aren't colors either. States aren't colors. No. I think if I got this right, correct me if I'm wrong, her father is Jamaican and her mom is from India. As in near Nepal, India. And I think that neither of them are naturalized. They're both met at UC Berkeley doing studies, and Kamala was born in Oakland, California, and she's a United States citizen first. I've never heard of a term anchor baby. That's the most ridiculous freaking term I have ever heard in my life. I would never use that term. She's a first generation American. Yeah, she's from Jamaica. Her dad's from Jamaica and her mom's from India. Good night, Keisha. Sweet dreams. Good night, Kate. Good night, Ocean. Good night, Dawn Claire. So we have 10 people watching live. You're welcome to ask your political tarot questions. And we are all, I felt this enormous sense of calm come in like yesterday afternoon. And I don't know if the moon is void of course, but I've noticed things really change, like with the traffic patterns, that things became very quiet. People became very courteous on the road this afternoon. yesterday when I went by my job site, I made sure to thank and appreciate the people working there for the great job that they're doing, because I'm the boss. It's pretty obvious. My daughter is like really focused and directed with her motivation. She feels now like the work she's doing will accomplish something. Before she felt like everything was so unproductive. Now we feel like we're actually getting somewhere and starting to make preparations so that when opportunity knocks, we can take hold of it. So that's a very much of a kind of a sedentary energy, because Mars is retrograde, so things can come to a grinding stop. So if you notice things stopping, that's okay. Just allow them to stop, because in that moment of rest is preparedness for opportunity, which are rising. That's right. Now, many states are already open to vote. I heard, I don't, please correct me on the numbers, but 5.5 million votes have already been cast in states with early voting. So we could have a record turnout for this election. So when I have my affirmations, I say like, we're having a record voter turnout this election. And you should see people's eyeballs pop out. People who live in fear, who are worried, boom, you'll see their eyeballs pop out. And that's when you can reassure them. And when Biden is president, I'm so glad we will all have health care. And then you can just see them. What a relief. Mm-hmm. All right, so now we're entering a new energy cycle because the moon goes void of course, and then it moves into its next lunar cycle, which is just over Earth revolution. Now, remember, in Nostradamus, we don't focus on astrology, so I'm not here to predict things because of the planets. We focus on the astronomy. And so for them, the fact that the Earth turned on an axis and spun around was like a shocking moment of truth for them, because they just thought it was a flat Earth and the sun was coming around. So now in 16th century, there's a war, like a belief of the belief systems where the flat Earth, people cannot accept that the Earth spins every day. And that's called a revolution. And the amount of time it takes for the Earth to revolve so that we have the night and the day as it exposes itself toward the sunlight, we call a day and a night. But it's not exactly 24 hours. That's right. So that's why as we spin around our little revolving ball and we go around a year, which is our solar cycle, we experience 365 days, not every year. That's why the leap year was added in the Gregorian calendar. In the Mayan calendar, it was called a green day or a day out of time, because they realized that there was this extra time adding up. Because in reality, a day isn't really 24 hours long. And when the planet retrogrades, it's not going backwards, it's a Doppler effect. So Mars is going past us and it looks like whoop, it's going backwards. And Uranus is going past us and whoop, Iran, this is going outside of it. It looks like it's going past us. Mars retrograde is huge because Mars comes very, very close to the Earth. And this Mars retrograde is basically a great big nothing. So it's the opposite of fuse. It's like a balloon deflating. It's like all the hot air coming out and nothing's left. It's like a complete slowdown. So it's okay if the businesses shut down again to get control of this thing. They're going to open back up. Okay? So, or just staying inside. It's okay for now. Things are going to open up safely when we have Joe Biden as president. Yeah. So would anyone like to ask political tarot questions? Don't be shy. We're in the live chat. We have 9 people here. Would anyone like to ask a political tarot question? I'm more than happy to stay here for a little while. My purpose is to make certain everyone sleeps well and has good dreams, coming from a place of confidence and security, which is the reciprocal of the fish out of water who's gasping for air because they're afraid they're about to take their last breath. And we calmly allow them to take their last breath. And we are secure and confident because we know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have, it's just what is. It is what it is. They have the votes behind them. If you're coming in late, we read tonight that Donald Trump is very disappointed with Mike's performance at the debate tonight. They are scared to death of Kamala. They're scared to death she's going to win and that the justice will be served against them for the crimes they've committed. They're not necessarily even thinking about the election or the debate or the poll numbers. We are so close to the end. Oh, I want to let you guys know, there have been so many signs on my channel that have corresponded to the October surprise and also the Beirut connection, which shows that I had asked that what signs should we look for to show that this is the end of Donald Trump's term? And they are coming like dominoes, one after another. Now, please do not entertain fantasies about Mike Pence becoming president and him resigning and all that stuff. I'm not getting that. But let's go back and ask the cards once again. I'm going to be starting the whistleblower series on the elections this week, you guys. And I'm also going to be looking into what were in the caskets because it turns out that Russia just released its set of trial 2 vaccines. And they're called Sputnik. Okay. It's okay to go to sleep, you guys. Are we ready to start reading on the red boxes coming out of Russia? Okay. I'm getting kind of tired too, so I might not do a ton of reading still because it's getting close to midnight. I just want to make sure everybody sleeps well and that they have their chance to, if they have any upset or disturbing feelings after having to watch the debate, that we come from a place of confidence and security, that over 5.5 million ballots have already been cast, And it looks like we're having a landslide. Let's just ask, are we having a landslide for Joe Biden? I'll bet you we're going to get a yes card. Okay, for all you late nighters. Is Joe Biden going to win by a landslide? Are we having a landslide? And then I have to look at Lindsey Graham because you know what? Or Jamie Harrison. Jamie Harrison is almost ahead. He's almost ahead. Like Jamie Harrison takes out Lindsey Graham. That is huge, you guys. Will Joe Biden win by a landslide? Is Joe going to win by a landslide? It looks like we're having a record voter turnout. Ooh, these cards are hot, hot, hot. They're sizzling. Will Joe Biden win by a landslide? Will he win by a landslide? This is the physician's card. This is medicine. This is the medicine for the people. This is the new president and vice president. It's a man and a woman. This is the partnership that we're voting in. Look, she's wearing the laurel leaf of victory. Kamala won tonight. And she is looking Joe straight in the eye. This is their new partnership. They're on their way to the White House. And it's a very strong, bonded, emotional partnership. Look at this. This looks great. Joe Biden's winning by a landslide. I'm getting goosebumps again, you guys. Joe Biden wins by a landslide. Ooh, this looks interesting. This is the victory card. Yes. Whew, I'm getting goosebumps. The Page of Cups is the young vote. These are people coming out in droves who are young. This is saying the young people who are casting their votes because they are aligned with Biden and Harris's message. These are people who are transgendered coming out. These are people who are young. These are women. And these are people who are sending a message. Okay? This is a message of hope. And see that? There's those jumpy, icky fish jumping out of the water. There they go. Bye-bye, fishes. Will Joe Biden win by a landslide? This is the Republicans voting for Trump, for Biden. These are Republicans. Look, they're over there in their giant red field. And they're like, I can't vote for Donald Trump. These are all the people in the Republican Party who are leaving Trump behind to vote for Biden. This is the foundational vote. Okay, this is the essence. It's saying, you know what? Kids have been talking to their parents. How can a mom tell their kid that they're going to vote for a man who's a misogynist and a liar and look their child in the face and say that they're an honest parent? These are kids who are convincing their parents. They're yelling and screaming at their kids like, I need health care, Mom. I need to go back to school, Mom. These are young people voting for for Biden. These are kids telling their parents, enough. This is what's going to make it a landslide, you guys. This is what's going to put it over the top, is the Republicans who are walking away from the Republican Party and Donald Trump. There's literally so many of them. Oh, the reverse 3 of Pentacles. This isn't just dark money and dark secrets. This is the knowledge that people know he's hiding his tax returns, and they're fed up with it. Oh, this is that news up about Donald Trump only paying $750 a year. Oh my God, did you guys see that? This is Donald Trump taxes that he didn't pay to America. This is the card of victory. This is Joe Biden's victory by a landslide. Now, this is a tarot reading only for entertainment purposes. I do not want to discourage anyone or be complacent about voting. Vote for your candidate of choice and vote, 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 vote. Biden wins by a landslide. There he is. A clear and strong message. Here comes the new blue army. This is the Democrats. This is the Democratic Party taking over the White House. They're moving in. Literally, you guys. This is the cabinet. Joe Biden's new cabinet moving in. Once again, for entertainment purposes only, and please vote, people. Do not rely on a tarot reading to tell you who to vote for, how or when to vote. Please check with your county elections office and make sure to follow the instructions fastidiously. It's a Mercury retrograde. If you haven't dotted the I's, crossed your T's, filled in your bubble properly, and do your ballot correctly the first time. If you make a mistake, it's going to be especially difficult to provisionally vote this year. If you need to discard your mail-in ballot because you made a mistake and get a second ballot, that's what's known as a provisional ballot, and it takes extra time to vote. So vote once, fill out your ballot completely and correctly the first time. If you are in a state that requires 2 envelopes, make sure you stuff it properly in both envelopes. How the county election verifies is with your signature. Sign your envelope. And if you are concerned about mailing your ballot to be received at your election office by November 3rd, because I know that in the state of Oregon, I spoke with my county elections office. My ballot must be received by November 3rd, not postmarked. It must be sitting at the elections office on Tuesday the 3rd. I will be depositing mine in the ballot drop box. My county election office told me where my nearest one is. By law, the county must have 1 ballot drop box at the county elections office. If there is nowhere else to drop off your ballot, the default is at the county elections office. Once again, a mail-in ballot or an absentee ballot does not have to be returned via USPS. You can directly deposit in a ballot drop box. There will be locations, and if you need to find out where, call your county elections office. A lot of times places like a library, but most of the libraries are closed, our neighborhood grocery store is going to have the ballot drop box. There is an county election official at the ballot drop box. It's not going to just be a box that you walk up to and shove your ballot in. The election office worker should ask you the 2 questions. Did you sign your ballot? And are you that person? Or, and that's it. And you just literally put it into the box. And just so you know, those ballots which are put into a ballot drop box are counted at the same time as in-person voting on the same night. So you will not have any delay having your mail-in ballot counted. Hi, my Chans. Hi, I welcome all views. However, we don't call names here, and we try to focus on facts. Okay? So we want to be positive. And we're not telling people how to vote. We're encouraging them how to vote properly and not who to vote for. All right. So, Kat, let's hope MAGA isn't waiting for us. Oh, okay. So, regarding electioneering, the technical term is electioneering. Now, we're going to be going over election interference and attempts to, and Ms. Chan, you're welcome to vote. Hopefully you've already registered. Are you registered to vote? Yeah, I'll bet not. You're probably not a United States citizen. Yeah, right. Okay. Kat has a very good point. Now, we are going to be talking about election interference, so let's just get straight to it. There's different types of quote-unquote interference, and one is psychologically interfering. So, for example, a person who's not voting, who's from another country, just trolling in a chat stream, is a form of psychological interference. Okay, there's nothing that person can physically do to stop you. They can make you feel like you don't want to vote. So, for example, when the president basically self-sabotaged himself, because when he created the energy paradigm where people became worried about voting, what he did was he turned off a lot of Republicans from voting. They said, well, why should I bother to vote? Okay. And then okay, so that's psychologically, but they're not physically at the polling place, like telling you not to vote. Now, because I'm a poll worker, I do know about what's called electioneering. That is against the law. Technically speaking, you will be able to find out whether or not your county officials are in league with a mob of criminals or if they are upholding the Constitution. So obviously there's going to be some county governments which are going to violate electioneering rules. And then there's going to be counties which are going to uphold electioneering rules. And that's how you can find out which county governments are corrupt, straight up. Now, as a poll worker, it is my duty and my job to call my supervisor if I witness any electioneering. And what it says is, number one, and this is very important because this has to do with poll watching. No citizen, no party, no person, no entity, no news station is allowed inside a polling place to watch. Only pre-registered, and that's right, volunteer poll watchers are allowed inside the premises. So if a news station comes by inside, I am supposed to kick them out. If the news channel wants to cover what's going on outside, that's different. Electioneering is posting any material which shows that you're supposed to vote for somebody. A sign, a t-shirt, a hat, within 250 feet. So you cannot stand 250 feet outside of a polling place with a bullhorn. If anyone within 250 feet of the polling place can see or hear your sign or you yelling, vote for so-and-so, that you are by law subject to citation. Whether or not each polling place is going to uphold the law and call in the supervisor to have the electioneering stopped, because you don't want this to escalate and have the sheriffs, remove these people. Okay, now if, there's a line. If they're outside 250 feet outside of the line and you cannot see them, they're not blatant. But once it's past that line, no, they're not allowed to be there by law. They're not allowed to block the door to stop you. They're not, no. Now, your county election official might have a situation to deal with, so they've got to deal with it the best they can without escalation. So just try and be cool. Okay, if you were so far down the road that you're not within 250 feet of the pole and there are maggots hanging outside screaming in your face, I hate to say it, but that could be past the line because you're too far away from the polling place and that there's nothing you can do about it. So don't allow these people to intimidate you. Okay, that's voter intimidation. That's not electioneering. That's just a nuisance. But electioneering means they cannot wear the shirt or the hat inside the polling place. They have to take it off. If they walk in the door with a MAGA hat on, I have to send them out the door. You have to take the MAGA hat off on before you're allowed to vote. Or you're not allowed in to vote. No Biden-Harris signs, nothing. Nope, no t-shirts, no buttons, no hats is allowed inside. You cannot do it. No. Okay, so there's a difference between intimidating. There's a difference between the actual physical electioneering. And then, of course, there's straight up corruption. And there could be someone who's not upholding your right to vote and allowing people to harass you. Oh, thank you, Kat. I knew that you would get on that. It was so funny because when I asked her if she's registered, I kind of shut her up. No, she's not registered to vote. She's from North Korea. It's okay. She can put a thumbs down. It actually is good for the SEO. It helps distribute the stream. Put a thumbs down if you don't like the fact that we're telling the truth here. Yeah. Donald Trump has a legitimate election coming up. If people want to vote him back into office, he has the opportunity to win fair and square. But he doesn't get to cheat. Sorry. Not allowed. And everybody knows he's running to stay out of prison, not to stay in the White House. Do you have a question, Kat? Do you have a question? I'll just so you know, I'm coming through StreamYard and I'm not super adept with these buttons yet. If it's all right with you, I will add you as a moderator so that when you come back next week, you'll have more power. All right, and that way you'll be more empowered. All right. So I think we'll ask another question about election interference. Now, Christopher Wray, and this is actually really important. I put this up on the whistleblower series. He actually, well, today he met and he put out the announcement about the 2 arrests. And I can't say their name because it's going to put a flag on the algorithm. But he recently put out a statement about election interference, saying that it is not true what they've been saying about mail-in voting not being safe. It is absolutely safe to mail-in vote. Please make your best decision and make your choice when you vote in person. When you vote in person and you want to vote in person and you can vote in person, that's great. And if you want to mail in vote, don't even hesitate. It's mail in. And if you need to mail in and you can't get to the drop box, mail it in early, way early. Mail it in at least 10 days early. And if you can't make it in time to get it mailed early enough to be received at the election, then it will be worth the trip to drive to the ballot drop box. Okay. Oh, will California vote to secede? Oh, I love that question. I understand that, and this gives me goosebumps, and when I get goosebumps, that's a good thing. I would love if Baja, because California is actually the Baja Peninsula, to take Baja with us, and of course we'll be taking Oregon and the state of Washington, and we secede to become part of Canada. I think it'd be great. I would love to secede it. Then I wouldn't have to leave the country. We'd just become Canadians. And it would be Canada. I'm hoping Baja California, Oregon, and Washington would all become part of Canada. Has a ballot measure to secede. So have they managed to get the ballot on the measure onto the ballot? Because there is a town in California that's successfully seceded from the state of California. It's called Rough and Ready. They actually seceded. They rejoined the union, but okay. Baja. Yeah, Pacifica. Oh, they want to become the nation of Pacifica and not Canada. All right, so let's ask the ballot. Will the ballot measure to secede make it onto the ballot in 2021? Will the California ballot measure to secede? That's the United States deck, so we're going to put a foreign deck out. Will the ballot measure to secede make it onto the ballot in 2021? I think it's a great idea. I would love to secede. Will the ballot measure to secede make it on to the ballot in the state of California in 2021? Ace of coins. Yep, they've got enough signatures. Yep, they're going to make enough signatures to make it onto the ballot. Okay. So let's look at the ballot measure to secede, to become Pacifica. I'm here, you guys. Right now, I'm technically a dual state resident. I live in both California and Oregon. I've been a dual state resident for almost 30 years. Okay, and here are going to be the 4 nation states that become Pacifica. So yes, it's going to get onto the ballot is what it's going to say. Oh, these are all yes cards. The High Priestess. This is a card of destiny. It is our destiny. We'll see what the karmic priestess says. There's a lot of judgment on the ballot that needs to be made, like between the choices of staying or going. So the high priestess is also people looking at the sides, both sides of the coin. It is the duality, and it is our karma. It could say that it's really our karma to be in with the United States, or it could say that we're going to win the vote to secede. Prosperity, goodness, California has everything. This is the card of California. It's like she's got it all. And she's got the economy just to hold her own. This is saying she absolutely has the resources to pull it off, being a nation state, and she doesn't need Texas and everywhere else in Nevada to drag her down. The emperor is going to be the president at the time. This is going to be Joe Biden. Okay, because in 2021, this is going to be the change of the administration from Trump to Biden. So what this is saying is Biden could be a serious problem or opposition to the secession. The Knight of Coins, at the time that the ballot, okay, so we know it's on the ballot and it's going to be the vote. It's going to be up for a vote in 2021. So the people, this is the people coming out to vote. It's going to bring out a lot of votes. As I mentioned, right now we have a record voter turnout, like 5.5 million ballots have already been cast. And so all these new voters and all these new young voters. Okay, so this is going to be an army of voters. Ooh, and this is going to be an army of op-eds in opposition. It's going to be difficult because our karma right now is that we are part of the United States. And yes, California does have the economic resources, but it's probably not going to get Biden's backing because he doesn't want to give up all that taxpayer money. I mean, without the state of California is the largest state in the union. We contribute more to the prosperity of the United States. So these are all the people with all the money coming out to vote, saying how emotional they are about the whole thing, saying that it's going to be an extremely emotional vote. Now, these are the 4 nation states that will be. Oh, they're all upside down. Okay, this is the loss that the other states. Okay, this is saying they don't want to lose these 3 nation states. So it looks like it's going to be 3 nation states. Doesn't look like Baja is going to go with. Here's Washington, a reverse justice. Okay, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be fair for the state of Washington is basically what they're going to say. Reverse justice, because they don't have the same amount of resources. The reverse star. This is somebody's ego taking over who wants to become like a new president of a new nation. This would be like somebody like Newsom or the current governor acting in opposition to the hope and the wish and the dream. So I would say that the politicians aren't going to really be backing it. And this is the end of the world as we know it, reversed. This is social media gone wild. So when the vote comes up, it's going to burn up on social media. I think that the whole thing's going to kind of fizzle out like a comet. It's going to make a pass and it's going to be on the ballot and it's just going to kind of fizzle out because it doesn't really have the backing. It's going to have to be a lot stronger push. And when Biden is president, we have the opportunity to work a lot of things out. But yeah, it's going to make it up to the ballot. It's going to make it up to the ballot. Don't know if it's 2021. But like I said, I lived outside of Rough and Ready, and they were able to secede, but in the end they ended up coming back. And that could be a real hassle to secede from the Union and then end up coming back. You know, time is a human construct, and humans forget. We've learned these lessons before, centuries ago, but we forgot them. We forgot them. We've seen dynasties just fall to the ground. Pompeo, you know, and his violin, he watched Rome burn. I don't like this guy, Mike. Oh, God, he's one of the nasty boys. So, you know, right now we have a focus on a lot of cleaning up to do. You know, not just in terms of the government, but personally in terms of the environment, personally in terms of our homes, our relationships. We've got a lot of fences that need mending. We don't want to hold it against people. I don't want to hold it against somebody if they voted for the guy the first time. I get it. But give him a chance a second time after what we've been through. No, that's just unthinkable. You know, those people are going to be fish out of water, and we just have to console them. Like, when Biden's president, you'll have health care. When Biden's president, there's going to be lots of new jobs cleaning up. When Biden has president, your kids will be able to go back to school safely. They're going to like to hear that. President Newsom, yeah, that I don't think so. I thought he was up for a recall vote. I didn't like Newsom. I didn't vote for him. I had a chance to vote for him. I was like, no way. No, Kimberly G. Wasn't he married to Kimberly G? Goofy Gooffoil. Oh, who's Goofy Gooffoil? Okay, we know who Piglet is. Oh, God, we know who Winnie the Pooh is. Goofy is Kimberly Goof. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Okay, so I think we're wrapping it up. The measures on the ballot this year. So I got the yes right away. So it says it's going to fizzle like a comet. California and Washington carry the wealth of Pacifica. Oregon has the natural resources. Money comes and goes. Natural resources, water. Did you know that water is going to be one of the most valuable resources? And Oregon has water. I'm outside of Portland right now, and I can tell you it's beautiful. We have rain. Oh, Newsom was the first mayor to legalize same-sex marriage. Cool. Malefic. Yeah. Kat says Biden's first year is going to be taken up putting out fires and cleaning up after 45. Yeah, we've been actually cleaning ashes because we had a big fire, and that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like cleaning ashes. And what you find is it's layer upon layer. As you peel back the onion, and you clean the ashes. Some of the ashes are good because they return to the soil, but so to try to be fastidious, to try to clean every speck of dirt, Kamala's going to kick their butts. They're scared to death. I'm going to get ready to go to sleep now, you guys, because I'm going to take care of the animals tomorrow. We have a channel cat here, and she's feral. She's like a little wild thing. So, and she's kind of young and she's super smart. She's learning so fast. So I need to check on her. I can hear her scratching away. Thanks for coming to the live stream tonight. If you haven't had a chance to come to Minerals Monday Live, we're doing Moldavite this Monday, which is it's actually not a crystal. It's a tektite. And it communicates outside of just the regular the regular telepathic stream. So it's good for communications with other worlds. So we can make connections to our loved ones who have passed recently. There's a lot of ether in the air left from the 211,000 because there's like however many minutes somebody else is passing of COVID in the United States right now. So all those residual energetics and all that ether, that's the spiritual psychic cleanup. And it's not too early to start that because it's not too early for us to heal from our losses, because many of us have lost a loved one due to COVID in 2020, and we will be losing more of them. And so I want to help people with their stones and their energies. And we're going to specifically do healing and energetic communication, not like a seance or talking or anything like that. Nothing bizarre, but just having an open channel to receive energetics between our loved ones who have passed this year in 2020. It's going to be really, really special because we're on the color green. And that way we can be in receiving mode if they want to send us something. You'll be able to receive the energy from your loved ones who are on the other side recently because the veil is so thin. Halloween 2020 has got to be the thinnest veil I have ever seen. Yep. In addition, a Uranus and a Mars and a Mercury retrograde, all for Halloween. Thank you for coming. Thanks for staying. Yeah, Kat, I think it's time to take care of Kitty. Mine needs her midnight romp around snack. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone who's been watching and is shy. And I will see you all again on Minerals Monday Live. Love to all. Namaste.